Hi everyone, my name is Dylan, and today we're going to take a closer look at using color in GoDaddy Studio. In particular, how to create and save color palettes for your brand, as well as how the new themes tool makes the process of selecting color combinations for your designs really easy and really quick. All right, let's jump in with this example template that I've selected. And it's worth noting that any template you decide to work on in GoDaddy Studio does come with its own existing color palette. So if I decide to modify any of these elements, let's say the text or some of these shapes, I would just tap on them and then select edit. That will call up the color palette for me. And as I mentioned, you'll see all these colors are from within the same design universe of this template, which is actually quite useful because it enables me to perhaps modify things, shift things around, but at the same time remain within the guardrails of something that I know definitely works. However, if you'd like to start adding your own colors to the palette, you can definitely do that. You just navigate to the far right hand side where you'll find the color wheel icon. Tap on that and you can start creating your own unique color by just sliding these color sliders around, and you can create just about any imaginable color this way. If you do have a particular hex code for a color that you know of, maybe it's part of your brand identity, you can simply tap here and enter that code to create that color. But if you're happy with what you've created, simply tap the check icon at the right hand side and that color will now be automatically added to your palette. You can also edit an existing color in your palette. So let's take this yellow, for example. I can just tap on that. It'll call up the option to edit. And from here, I can maybe make it just a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, something like that. Again, tap check just to add it to your color palette. There's a third way you can add a new color to your palette, and that involves using our incredible color picker tool. Let's select this text, for example. And if you look on the far left-hand side of the color palette tray, you'll see that little drop icon. If you tap on that, that now lets me explore the canvas and I can pick any color from a graphic or even a photographic image, find the exact color that I'm looking for, and from there you would simply tap the plus icon in the color palette tray and that automatically adds it to your color palette. So now we've expanded this color palette, we've customized it somewhat, and what we can begin to do now is play around with different color combinations in the pursuit of customizing this unique design. And that can be a lot of fun, but it can also be really time consuming, and it can even be quite frustrating because there are just so many options, particularly when you're working with 3, 4, 5 colors in a design. Trying to find that balance, that harmony isn't as easy as it sounds. So that's why our new themes tool comes to the rescue, and this one's going to just change your life. It's going to save you so much time. Let's take a look at how it works. First of all, you'll find it in your main menu tray at the far right hand side. So in the bottom corner it says theme, just tap on that. And now what this does is it enables you to cycle through different color combinations for your entire design that are all based on your original template. So where it says original, I'm just going to tap that, and you'll see that every time I tap, it presents me with a completely different combination. But again, they're all drawn from my original color palette. So as I said before, these colors tend to work really well together. There's a certain sense of harmony. It remains within the original design universe that I first stepped into. It's really just a matter of you deciding subjectively which combination you think works best. So that's obviously going to save you a ton of time, and it's quite a lot of fun to play with. Now you can, as I've said, you can remain within your original color palette, but if you want to mix things up completely and try a different design style, then you can scroll through these options at the bottom. We've got things like corporate, classic, street, organic. Let's see, I think playful probably suits this brand quite well. So I'll cycle through some options of a playful color palette. And as you can see, most of them work really well together. These aren't just random colors generated by a bot. They've all been curated by our design team. So you're working from palettes that definitely complement each other. So that makes it a lot easier to find a combination that looks really easy on the eye, something like that. So now if you're happy with your results, which I am with this, you can just tap the check icon in the top right hand corner. And now you'll notice that if you want to do some more fine tuning to the colors and you tap edit on any of the elements, your color palette has now been replaced with that playful palette that you've selected. And there are quite a few more different options. So you can either work with exactly what themes generated for you, or perhaps you want to change one or two of the elements, and that's really easy to do. Now, regardless of how you discovered or ended up with your final palette, whether you just used the default option or you created your own from scratch, or you use themes to help you discover new combinations, it's a really good idea to save your color palette for future use. If you want to create new designs down the line, but you want to draw from the same brand identity, then you really need to save those colors somewhere, and this is how you do it. So you're going to navigate again to the left-hand side of your color palette, and you'll notice that there's that small arrow pointing up. You tap that, and you'll see that I can now save this palette. I just press Save Palette, and let's call this our Summer Special for future reference, and I'll save that. And that's all it takes. So now I've got that palette saved for future use. And where that can be really useful is if you decide now you want to create some multi-page designs using pages in GoDaddy Studio. Perhaps you would like to create some Instagram stories or a campaign over many platforms. What you can do is begin with your initial design and very easily start to replicate that with different color combinations. So in these samples, what I've done is I just replaced the image, I shuffled the graphics around a little bit, and for every one I just tried a different color combination with themes, and it starts to create the impression of a very well thought out, coherent and professional brand. So those are just some of the ways that you can play around with color in GoDaddy Studio. Try it out today for free on iOS, Android, or web. All the links you need are in the description below. And please subscribe to this channel if you want to keep learning about this amazing tool.